Hello, everybody. Patrick from the future here. Just letting you know that there are some audio issues in this episode, but we decided to release it anyways because we really enjoyed the discussion. Moving on. Hi, I'm Patrick.
Hi, I'm Sim.
And we're Wizard Core,
a duo of friends that like to talk about movies, video games, TV, music, and a plethora of other nerdy shit. Today's topic...
vampires, well, technically Sinners, but also vampires.
Vampire media and stuff.
Yeah.
But we watched Sinners and we were like, this movie is a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah, dude, Sinners...
of a movie.
Sinners was... So I talked to you about this a couple times already, but I'll repeat it for you all. That when the movie was happening, there was stuff that they like obligatorily were not letting you know about, or like they kept until later.
Yeah.
That when you're watching it, you're like, okay, like I'm really digging this, but like I have like some serious questions that need to be answered. And then the movie does it, and then goes beyond it, and I was like, okay, no, this is this is a masterpiece.
Yeah, you want to just cover like a quick spoiler-free, like a quick 2-minute, be like, watch this movie. This is great. So performances, top tier. Music, top tier. The story is basically what we talked about. Is
the story was amazing. Honestly,
it's like an hour. The movie is like 2 hours total, and it's
which
like
is
an hour.
Crazy.
Yeah,
when you
it's
think about how much they packed into the 2 hours.
Yeah, hour 50, like an hour.
An hour, like 15 minutes.
No, just like it's a setup. Yeah. It's a lot of setup. It reminded me a lot of like From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
In the sense of like it's this one story, it's this other story, leading up to all of a sudden like fuck it it's less fuck it vampires than From Dusk Till Dawn because they do sprinkle in beforehand, so it's not as like jarring.
Yeah, it's integrated in a way that's different from Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
Because it really is like, in Dusk Till Dawn, it really is like a story is happening and all of a sudden vampires are in it.
Yeah.
There was, with a little, they gave just enough of a sprinkling to where, almost to the point where I was almost going to knock the movie for it until the rest of the movie happened, because I was like, they're really not showing
that much.
Like almost
of the
anything
stuff.
Of like the vampire stuff. And I was like, I don't know if this is going to, I feel like by now, we should have like seen more than we did, and I couldn't have been more wrong.
Oh yes,
because the last like 45 minutes makes up for all of that.
Yeah, because what you mentioned is like you go once they like reveal more stuff, you go back and watch it, and then there's the stuff in the beginning half. There is actually more stuff. Like there's all kinds of. There is stuff hinted at within the like lore of the vampires, like what you said when he like falls into frame when Remick is first introduced, and then you realize you go back, he's like, oh, he was flying, and then he hit the ground. He didn't just jump into frame.
Yeah, exactly, because I remembered that because in the movie when he landed into frame. That's the first time that they did anything like that in the entire movie, where they showed something kind of supernatural, and it worked. What worked in the movie's favor is that I didn't automatically go supernatural flying vampire. My brain went, where did he jump down from?
Yeah, where is he coming from? What just happened?
And then obviously it gets revealed in that same scene that he's a vampire. But it's a strength, a real big strength of the movie is that like especially because of the end, which we're not going to talk about. But the end is so, like... By the time the end happens, you're like, how... In the best way possible, you're like, wow, how did we get here? Yeah. Like, it was not what I was... I got, like, emotional. Yeah. You're not expecting that from, like, you know, a horror movie. Like, emotional in the way that this movie makes you feel emotional is something that is rare. And I haven't seen executed like that in like a long... I can't think of anything in recent memory that I had that kind of reaction to. Yeah, no, a lot of this movie I felt was like executed in such a... This whole movie is... The reason why we throw around masterpiece is because the whole movie is executed in such a way that it hasn't been really like done before. Yeah. Or if it has, they did it in such a different way. Well, I was thinking about why I think we consider it a masterpiece, and we considered it a masterpiece like as soon as we walked out of the theater. It's because I've noticed we've kind of had this conversation, but you and I've noticed that the movies that we consider like 10 out of 10 experiences, like
'Cause
masterpieces,
it uses all of what cinema offers.
It uses, yes,
music,
but
visuals,
but it's
acting,
that, but it is that.
Yeah.
At the core of it, though, it's the story.
Yeah.
And you and I like stories where the idea is taken to its extent.
Mm-hmm.
People dig deep into what the concept is, and then they go all the way with it. This is one of those movies.
Yeah, no, we talk about that a lot. The having the idea and then like going for the idea, like with the substance.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about that with the substance, whereas like they had the idea and it's like they go for it. Mm-hmm. They had the idea and they hit like every single.
Because it is what you just said a second ago about like it is all of the, it's the cinematography, it's the acting, it's the set design, it's the visual effects, but all of that is ultimately in service to the story going where it goes.
Not just that, but what I mean by there's something that, because there's music, right? Mm-hmm. There's music, and then there's you know, and then cinematography is a series of pictures, and then all of that other stuff. But like cinema is all of that stacked on top of each other. It's something that none of the others can offer together. Mm-hmm. And that's like what a perfect movie with what you're saying is like. Everything
comes together in a way that's so holistic and with such a purpose driven behind everything. It's when you get to view, I had this thought actually. It's when all of the artists are like at the top of their game and they know it and they're executing. That's how you get movies like this movie, Sinners. That's how you get the substance. That's how you get stuff like Jurassic Park.
Dude, I thought about this. The two vampire movies we talked about are both the worst and best movies we've talked about on this podcast. We have Salem's Lot and we have Sinners.
Oh my god, guys!
Watch both of them.
I forgot we. It's been so long since we did a podcast episode.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I know.
The new Wizard Core Tavern of movies and magic.
Yeah. But it's been so long, I was like, oh yeah, we did talk about Salem's Lot.
Yeah, Salem Schlock,
as
Salem, you so called it.
Salem Schlock. I don't care. I love that thumbnail just because of that title being on.
Oh yeah, no, that was my favorite. When you came up with that, that was one of my favorite fucking things.
But this really is like the complete polar opposite of that kind of experience.
Yeah.
Salem's Lot is literally like, it's so bad, it's almost kind of good. I mean,
it's bad.
It's bad, but it's
bad.
Like
it's so bad that it's bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
I'm sorry, Lewis Pullman, but it's bad.
It has scenes that are
neat.
They're neat.
Yeah,
yes.
they're neat scenes.
But Sinners just does like the absolute hardest slam dunk ever on a movie like Salem's Lot.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like it's so. Anyways, Sinners was just
go see it.
Yeah,
but what
go? I really want to see it in IMAX.
Dude,
I want to experience. You know how like Christopher Nolan is known for like the aspect ratio changes. This is one of those movies where this is one of those movies.
Now see, like that made me think of Christopher because he's British. It made me think of him as like a Canadian from South Park. Go see it in IMAX. I'm Christopher Nolan. Go see it in IMAX. Now smell my farts. It smells like an atomic bomb from Oppenheimer.
Oh god, that should be a South Park.
That
would be the best
you can
joke.
Have that.
That would be the best joke. Oh my god!
Every time he farts, it's an atomic bomb.
Christopher, no!
No, Christopher! Christopher, no! Hold it in! Get that man to Japan. Oh, God. No. He's like, no. Is this thing on? Hello?
Yeah, it is on. I reject that. It's been on the whole time, bud.
But what I really got me onto this topic of like vampire stuff is the creation of the added on lore that they had in Sinners
Yeah.
of like what the vampires being able to see. Oh, all right, now we're getting into. We already kind of like went into spoilers.
Went into a little spoiler.
And shit.
The way you're getting into is actual spoilers.
Yeah. So now, if you haven't seen it, go see it, please. Spend your money on this one. If any movie this year, please go see this in theaters.
It actually, so far this year, it's the best movie.
Yeah, please. It's been the best movie of the past couple.
Yeah,
like in terms of like horror.
It's a best picture, and then it's not going to get selected. I know it now. I'm calling it.
I hope it does.
I hope it gets
multiple awards.
In spite of how, I hope it does.
Yes.
Because it really, it's so.
It needs to be
so well
the
made.
horror movie that breaks into the like. Fucking,
it has the ability of being like something like
the Academy Awards. If it doesn't, it's
what was that?
Everything's been rigged recently, dude.
Yeah, what is it? Poltergeist? You know how like non-horror people have seen Poltergeist. Is it Poltergeist or is it
This Toby Hooper?
No, the other possessed teenage girl.
Hereditary?
No, old movie, 70s. Classic horror movie.
Teenage girl possessed.
No, it's the one with the priest that's like...
The Omen.
No,
Exorcist.
The Exorcist.
Yes.
There you go. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
God, I could not get there in my mind.
That's fine.
The Exorcist.
That's why I'm here.
It's on the level... Well, you just said like, you know, if you like normal people would enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
Like people that aren't horror fans.
People, I feel like
That's like The Exorcist.
Normal people, like non-horror fans.
That's what I meant. Non-horror
would enjoy
fans.
this movie. Yeah. No, for sure. I feel like it's just a movie for. I mean, there is gross. There's a lot of sex. There's a lot implied sex, but it's like a horny ass movie, and there's things. But overall, I think. There's a lot to enjoy for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't take my 9-year-old to see this.
No, that's what I like.
But as far as like a general audience,
like an adult audience member.
Yeah,
there's anybody in an adult audience can find something to enjoy in this, not just horror fans.
Yeah, exactly. Because the story is
the music, the acting, everything about it. The message, the theme, everything.
I know we're kind of moving on, but I really do want to talk about like the music for a second. The music is such a
go for it.
Integral. It's such an integral part of the movie.
Yeah.
Like it's so well done, first of all, but like the cultural aspects of it for both of the cultures that are like being represented there's actually multiple cultures being represented in the movie, and they all like coalesce with the music on a narrative level, but also just the music itself. It's really excellently well done.
Yeah, if you
that score should win an Oscar.
No, yeah, that's another thing that should, the music, the score, everything needs to be at least nominated. Like, seriously.
Yeah, Ryan Coogler came back into like making original filmmaking hard.
If none of this gets nominated for anything, we riot for sure, dude. But
vampire media in general.
Yeah, what I was gonna get into was that what got me into wanting to talk about like vampire stuff was the lore in this movie of the vampires being able to like see people with gifts, or specifically in this movie they can like music, and like music draws like evil or darkness, and the people in the vampires can see that, and it like draws them, and they can see when people play music the like powers that they have of the past and the present and the future. And I thought that was a very interesting and well done aspect in addition to like this movie's lore of the vampires. And that made me think of like, oh, what other, like what in vampire media, like what's cool addition to lore, or like what's like your favorite like vampire stuff. It doesn't have to be like addition to lore, or just like what other vampire media out there is like your favorite, and like kind of dissect like what makes it different from other like baseline Dracula shit, you know?
Yeah, because I know for me, the thing that, so I will give my answer because I have an answer, but I want to preface it by saying like, it's not that I haven't seen any vampire stuff, but I have. But I know, like, compared to you, I haven't seen, like, nearly as much stuff. But the thing that, like, comes to my mind first, that's I love for, like, completely different... two answers, really, It's What We Do in the Shadows, but the movie and the show.
Oh yes.
And even though
I love it.
it like just came out like 5 months ago or however long it's been, the recent Nosferatu was like
fantastic.
We've been getting some really
Good
great
vampire shit. I'm here for
like
it.
in a 6-month time period.
As a 50% Romanian fucking heritage,
ethnic, yeah.
I fucking love this shit. I'm all for it
because and they're masterpieces.
They're so good.
They're not just good or great. They're masterpieces.
We're eating.
Yeah.
We're sucking. That's the phrase.
Sinners. both
sinners. They're sucking both ways.
Well, really, both.
Actually, all vampires suck both ways. They're very sexual beings.
They're vampires.
They're vampires. They're very sexual.
But yeah, like.
Nosferatu was a horny ass movie too.
Have we even talked about Nosferatu on this podcast yet?
No, we haven't done one in like a minute.
Yeah. Oh my god. That should be, frankly, its own independent episode.
Booth in the movies. Both of the movies. Both of these movies have been like really horny ass movies.
Same with my choice was gonna be. I love both the original and remake of Fright Night.
I was actually just gonna bring that up because I watched that for the first time.
Yeah,
like with y'all.
Yeah,
like 2 weeks ago or something like that.
The remake.
The remake, and not the original.
I love the remake. I think Colin Farrell.
I thought it was
fucking slayed.
Yeah.
It. Is this thing on? Hello. But he was really good as Jerry. Like just the like pseudo. But he's again like pseudo, super like sexy dude. And
yeah, he definitely played.
But he just hammed it up and crushed it. I love him as Jerry in that remake. He's like and then R.I.P. Anton Yelchin also crushed it. I love.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about that. We didn't talk about
Toni
that.
Collette. I always forget that she's the mom. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Horror queen. Fucking.
And then
absolute. And Mogan Poots is his girlfriend who was in Green Room with Anton Yelchin as well.
Yes, but
oh, David Tennant.
David Tennant. That in my mind, I was like David Cross. I'm like, that's not the right guy. David Tennant. And then he was great in that movie.
And then Christopher Mintz-Plasse as Evil Ed. He's the
who is that again?
He's the little buddy that gets transformed by Jerry. He figures out that Jerry's the vampire at the beginning, and then Jerry tracks him down. Christopher Mintz-Plasse is super bad.
Okay, I don't remember him specifically, unfortunately, but who I do remember is
McLovin.
Oh,
God,
oh my God!
Yes,
sorry, yes.
Yeah, man.
Wow, I forgot he was in the movie. Yeah, he was great.
Yeah.
He was great in that movie.
Christopher Mintz-Plasse.
But also there was sorry, yes, he was right. Everybody. But what's his name? The Franco brothers in it for like a second.
Oh, Dave Franco.
Yeah, Dave Franco's in it.
Yeah, he plays like early in his career.
He plays like a jock. Gets killed off early and becomes a vampire, and then doesn't become a vampire.
No, that was early in his career.
Yeah,
while he was still like rising up to the ranks and shit.
He looked like and played like an early 20s guy playing a high school jock.
Yeah, no,
which is perfect for the movie. It was great.
Yeah,
it made total sense why he was there.
It really goes to show that Dave Franco didn't really do. Yeah, I don't think that he had like much nepotism through James because he actually.
No, I feel like he earned
played
it a
lot of side like douchebags.
I guess you could say there was some because like
because he is James Franco's brother.
I think you know what proves it. It's after what happened with everything with James Franco and Dave is still stuck around.
Yeah, but like Dave
and has like blossomed.
But you see, like early in Dave's careers, he played a lot of like douchebag jock characters and shit that wasn't like. Like not the best like character. Like people. He was
in Superbad. Speaking of Superbad, he was in Superbad too, playing a douchebag jock.
Yeah.
For a second, literally.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, I forgot he was fucking in there.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, like he wasn't like.
To your point.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like he like earned his place.
He has. Isn't he in the? Is it him and what's her face from Community in that new movie coming out?
Yeah, they're married
together?
in real life.
They are?
Oh, you didn't know? They've been married for like a hot minute.
I did not know that.
Oh, yeah. That's why they're in the movie together.
I see it's an Angelina and Brad.
Yeah, no,
situation.
it's very much that. Yeah, no, they've
But
been
it's
married
well,
for like
yeah.
years now.
I honestly did not know that.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
a cool fact.
He
But that movie looks like that trailer for that movie
his
is great.
directorial debut with a movie called The Rental, and she's in it. And it's also with the guy from The Bear.
Coogan. Barry Coogan?
No, The Bear. The other. What the? Barry Coogan's not in The Bear. The dude from Shameless, the blonde dude.
The descendant of the Willy Wonka guy.
Yeah. Why do you think that he's Barry Coogan?
I can't remember who Barry Coogan
Barry
is.
Coogan's in Dunkirk, to bring it back to Christopher Nolan atomic bomb farts.
Cyclical people.
It's cyclical. Life's cyclical. It all revolves around Christopher Nolan and time.
But you're talking about the guy that was in the Iron...
Tenet. Watch it. I haven't, but you should, and tell me about it.
The guy that's in the Iron Claw, right?
Yeah.
Whatever his name
fuck his name
in
is.
The Bear, the main guy from The Bear.
Is his name Joseph Allen? Why do I think his name is Joseph Allen?
You know what? In my mind, you know what was the first thing I thought of? I thought of the fucking scene from Jurassic Park thing where just Alan. Okay, this is gonna bug the shit out of both of us if we don't look this up right now. But what about him though?
He's in it. He's in it with Dan Stevens, Alison Brie, and somebody else, and they all go to a rental house, and then they're stalked by a killer, and that was Dave Franco's directorial debut. That happened again.
Directorial debut.
Debut. I'm a French man now.
My wife.
Nope, that's a different accent. My wife.
It was on the verge of similarity. I don't know why I said that way. But Jeremy Allen White.
There was an Allen in there. And there was a J. It was a J. Allen. I said Joseph Allen. Who's Joseph Allen? Watch it be some like extremely like awful person that people are like, why were you thinking of Joseph Allen? I don't know.
So there is an actor in a movie called Motor Madness from 1937 named
That's
Joseph
exactly
Allen.
who I was thinking about.
But underneath that, exact number 2 is Joe Exotic. So we somehow look.
Actor Joe Exotic, Cure Kitty Kitty.
So we landed there. We landed into the trap a little
cyclical.
bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Because we talked about Joe Exotic, right? Tiger King. That's the Tiger King dude.
Yeah, he's from Tiger King.
Yeah.
You mean in a previous episode we talked about Joe Exotic?
Yeah, remember we talked about...
Oh, dude, he's back!
You remember?
Yes, I remember now. He's
we
back.
Looked him up, remember? We had to wait a whole episode.
Only true fans know what the fuck we're talking about.
They only had to go back his like 5 episodes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
We're not that big.
No, we're not. It's the beauty, really.
Yeah. Anyways, what's your... Oh, yeah, you said...
Well, the one I brought up first was What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes.
Well, it's I combine the movie and the show together because they're all in the same universe.
Yeah.
But I haven't gotten caught up on the show, and I know it's better than the movie, but the movie holds such a special place in my heart because that's where it all started, and the tone from that movie set the tone entirely for the show.
The only reason why the show takes the cake for me is Matt Berry.
Oh yeah, he's
Matt Berry as Laszlo.
It is objectively better than the movie. The show
just absolutely the best thing possible. Honestly, he's everything he said. Yeah, exactly. New York City.
Yeah,
he's my good time guy, my soldier, my main cheese. That's probably not even a line, but who?
Yeah, but he has so many but it's a lot of characters have very memorable lines from the show, but his character in particular is just
Jackie Daytona.
Yeah,
he all sorts of shit. You got the bad luck, the witch hat that's made of like human skin.
Yeah,
and he won't give it up. He's just like he has the most.
His character, it's one of those perfect marriages between like a character on the page and an actor.
Yeah.
Where then an actor just becomes a
it's
character.
like, he is Laszlo.
And gets the humor, so they can like ad lib as that within the same structure. You know,
it's one of those characters in a TV show where you couldn't imagine having them have casted anybody else. Like that had to have been written specifically for him. Mm-hmm. If it was anybody, like you wouldn't have the same TV show without Matt Berry. You know, there's it's like Nick Offerman. Schwartzen, god damn, dude, I'm on some shit today. Nick Offerman
the comedian. Nick Offerman is also a comedian.
Yeah, Nick Offerman is Ron Swanson or
Steve.
Rec. Yeah, Steve Carell is.
He was in. If y'all saw this, he was in Devs.
Yeah, or
that's it.
Steve Carell is.
I was thinking Steve Carell too from The Office, playing Michael Scott.
Yeah,
where you're just like, man, they
like anybody else would have been like this show would be completely different, or even not have made it as far as it did. You know, it's like certain characters are just meant for those actors, and that's 100% Matt Berry for Laszlo.
Even in the same show of The Office, like Rainn Wilson as Dwight.
Yeah, exactly.
Or this is different, but because it's an animated show. But like Mike Judge as Hank Hill.
Oh yeah.
Like he created it and wrote it, obviously, or at least the first couple of seasons. But him voicing Hank for the entire show, he just like.
Mike Judge is just a multi-talented man.
Yeah,
dude,
Mike Judge is like a weird sleeper hit guy.
Dude, he really is, dude. Like Beavis and Butt, like everything in Office Space.
Yeah,
fucking Extract, everything. Mm-hmm. Dude, he's so good. What Idiocracy?
Yeah, he hasn't directed a movie in like a live action movie in a while.
Absolute mad lad of a fucking sleeper hit.
Yeah,
you know, just absolute banger after banger that people don't like really appreciate till like years later, and they're like, he's a genius. And then he's also like in his own stuff. He's like, and he's great in it. Oh. Dude, Mike Judge, underrated. Like, underrated, but also...
He's from Texas, too.
I know. He's like, he should be, like, his stuff is appreciated, but himself isn't as much. You know what I mean?
I think, in a way, that's kind of by his own design, because he seems like it's not that he's not willing to be in, like, he's literally in a lot of his stuff, but he seems to keep a more, like, private life, which I respect, honestly. But I get what you're saying... Where it's like, I think him not getting as much credit, like, by people is by his own design.
Because he's producing and does voice work for that new animated show on Adult Swim.
What's it called? The one about
the drug that unlocks, like, the mind and shit.
Yeah,
Limitless, the animated show.
Yeah. What you can look
figure it out.
Yeah, if you look at Mike Judge on IMDb and you'll find it.
Because the guy who did The Office is also
Greg Daniels.
Yeah, he's also a producer on that show.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
that completely makes sense. Yeah,
it's great.
That show really is both those humor styles.
Yeah,
just
no,
combined.
that whole show is like a crazy amount of people behind it that like support it, and it's like. That's awesome. I'm so glad people are like supporting crazy projects like that. Like the world's healing.
Yeah.
Like so you got Sinners coming out.
And I'm more hopeful than wary, honestly. But speaking of, because we're talking about Mike Judge, I don't know when it's supposed to come out, but the sequel series to King of the Hill is supposed to come out, and I'm really hoping. I'm not expecting them to capture the magic of like the original series. I'm expecting to see something like interesting though from that sequel series, because the thing about King of the Hill is that it always was like at the end of the day rooted in like real world issues, especially for like what was going on at the time with like family life and like general like looking at like Texas culture and like Southern culture in particular. But it always seemed to take like a very like it would tackle hard subjects, but it had a lighthearted like humor way of doing it, and I want that is what I want to have retained from the show, from the original series in this new one, but like make Hank a literal old boomer and Bobby like a 40-year-old man, and whatnot. Like I actually want to see that stuff. Like I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
And I think it would
To,
make
like, have
sense to do.
Yeah, to have like a natural progression of the show rather than just go back to what.
Yeah, like because well, that's what they've said they're doing. They're it is taking place like now, like as if like real time has passed.
Yeah.
And I thought when I heard that, I was like, that's a very smart decision.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's way off the vampire topics. But,
Yeah, I mean, somewhat.
well, there's the Halloween episode where, well, it's not a vampire, but Drake. Hank dresses up
Drake?
as Drake. Yeah, Drake's the king of the hill. Did you know?
I hope not.
He's not. It's a Halloween episode. Hank dresses up as in Bobby's little devil costume because Bobby and like a bunch of other. It's a whole thing. He does it because
We got time.
he you're like, tell me more.
Tell me more. We have a podcast.
Yeah. Bobby at school and a bunch of other people get co-opted to go into this like fundamentalist Christian.
See, that's why I
religious
hope it's
church.
not Drake.
Yeah, it's exactly.
You're like children. They're children, Patrick.
Yes. They get anyway. It's a whole thing. The message. I'm gonna skip over what it's actually about. The message was about like taking Halloween as a holiday, like less seriously, and then just enjoying the fun of it, and not getting bogged down in the religious aspects of things on either side of the fence.
Yeah.
So it was good.
I like that.
They have some really good Halloween episodes. Actually.
I was trying to think of
vampires in like more video game media, and I was trying to rack my brain. The only thing that popped up is what we were talking about. Just because it's so recent, we've been playing Oblivion,
and it was like the vampires in
vampirism.
Yeah, vampirism in Skyrim and Oblivion.
Vampirism in the Elder Scrolls sucks so much ass. It sucks so bad.
Let's go with the opposite. Let's go with the Salem schlock route and go the dog shit vampire stuff.
Dude, I oh my god, the vampirism in Oblivion and in Skyrim. I've only really dealt with it in Skyrim.
It's forced upon you, and you don't want it.
And they specifically, I mean, there's cures for being a werewolf in the series as well, but God, being a werewolf is so much better from a gameplay perspective. It's like having a superpower.
Yeah.
Being a vampire in Skyrim is an inconvenience. You have a disease, literally. They treat
diabetes.
it. They treat it like a disease.
Yeah, you got to take this insulin shot.
Dude, you literally, you're at the alchemy table, like in broad sunlight. Your character's dying. You're like, I gotta make the potion. I'm gonna die. I haven't saved yet. Like it's just such dog shit, man. In between, I thought of something though, and in between, like it's like kind of schlocky, but the movie itself is kind of cool. Was that Van Helsing movie?
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? That movie's amazing.
I
love that movie.
I'm calling it a little schlocky because I haven't seen it in a long time.
Oh, dude, it's by what's his name? Steven Sommers, who did the Mummy movies.
Okay.
And okay. You're like, I understand now.
I do, yeah.
Dude, that movie's sick. I love that movie, especially.
Well, that's what I'm saying because I really like a lot of things about it, but I remember
Kate Beckinsale in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. 100% agreement. I think we're all in 100% agreement on that one.
Dude, everybody. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman in that movie.
Oh yeah, Hugh Jackman. But with the vampire, it is Dracula in that one, right?
Yeah, it is Dracula.
Dracula it is and can get it in that movie.
Dude, him.
He has vampire harem.
Yeah.
In the movie.
Dude, he does. Yeah. He has the 3 wives.
Yeah.
And then they're all. Oh my. Dude, everybody in that movie.
Everybody
can get it.
is
the
hot.
little monk dude. That's
even
in
the
300.
monk gets it. He gets it in the movie.
Dude, he does.
Yeah, for me, it is for you.
Yeah, he's from. He gets jacked in 300. Dude, he's hiding some shit under that fucking robe.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, I'm a little monk boy.
I'm a little monk boy.
Yeah, that movie's awesome. The fucking the
The crossbow?
The steak crossbow?
The steak crossbow that's like, has the
It's the
cylinder
cylinder,
rounds.
yeah.
Oh, dude, I thought that was sick.
Yeah.
When he dips it in the fucking holy
Yeah,
water and
and
he
just-
like flips it around. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, that's
that
awesome.
movie is awesome.
Yeah. The beginning fight with Jacqueline Hyde.
Yeah.
That I love that. That like again,
I wanted more of that too. They could
Yeah.
have made so many cool spin-offs with him hunting like Universal monsters and
Yeah,
shit.
'cause
Because he
maybe
teams
just
up
didn't-
with Frankenstein and stuff in the movie.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I almost
They
forgot
they
about
could
that.
have had a whole series with him like dealing with other like Universal monsters.
Yeah, I feel like Universal.
The Mummy.
I feel like Universal-
they already did the Mummy. Fuck.
I feel like Universal keeps making the wrong attempts.
Yeah, they really
At
they
getting that
did
correct.
it right already,
Yeah,
and then they're like,
exactly.
let's make it dark and gritty
Well, yeah,
and
because
put white women in there.
exactly. Yeah. What was
No,
the?
I did like the Invisible Man.
Oh
I
yeah.
did not like the new Wolfman movie.
Oh my god, that Wolfman movie was.
Yeah.
That was the biggest. That might be my biggest disappointment of the year
Yeah.
so far.
Yeah,
That
movie
Don't
was,
see Wolfman. I'm sorry.
It was
It's not good.
it was bad. That movie was bad.
They were the whole thing wasn't bad.
There's elements.
The
that
lead
were
up
cool.
was the setup was decent. It was decent. It wasn't good, but it was decent.
This is crazy because I like the actors. Like I like
Yeah, the
Christopher
actors in it are
Abbott
good.
And what's her name? Julia Gardner. I think.
Yeah.
She's gonna be in Weapons coming out.
Yes, that movie looks
That movie looks fucking
great.
sick. Zach Greger, Whitest Kids You Know. What a fucking
Yeah.
turn, and I believe in him full-heartedly. I
Yeah.
have since the PCP sketch. So
Exactly. Well, we just went on so many different topics.
yeah.
What were we talking about?
Van Helsing.
Yes. That movie's great. The more you keep talking about it, the more I'm remembering, like, oh yeah, that
whole
shit was
movie is
really good.
Fucking amazing.
Because the opening scene. Oh, and the opening scene was really, or sequence, I should say, was really cool too.
with
Because
Jekyll and
it's,
Hyde, yeah.
because. Wait, is the opening wait? I think the opening sequence is the black and white sequence when
when
Dracula's
it's
talking
and
to.
it's shot like an old school like
Yeah,
Hammer
yes.
horror film and shit.
Yeah,
like
it's all
that.
black and white and everything. Yes.
Yeah. And then he like takes they burn down the Frankenstein
The
at the windmill,
windmill.
and he's like the master with him. He's like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
He screams a lot in that movie though.
He
I
does
just
scream a
remember
lot.
Frankenstein being like yelling all the time. That's
You know-
all his dialogue is yelled.
That movie has one of the coolest movie weapons I've seen in it, which
The
is
grenade?
the light grenade.
Yeah.
that shit is
Dude,
that idea is so awesome.
Yeah,
and the way they presented
there's
it,
so many like just cool moments in that movie. But yeah, sorry, continue.
and they didn't wasn't it like a white phosphorus mixture
Yeah,
too? Like they
yeah.
tried to root it in like
when
some like
because he jumps out the window, he's like, "I figured out how to use it," and he's
Yeah.
like, "Cool, good, now's not the
And just
time."
toss it
And
down
then-
the hallway,
yeah, he
and
like
it, like,
drops
just-
it. He drops it, and then he tackles him out the window, and it's like, beep.
Yeah,
And then
and
they
they-
all turn to skeletons and
Yeah,
just drop. Oh
yeah.
yeah, so good. And
Yeah.
then right before that, he like goes and rescues her by like grabbing the rope, and then he jumps down to like because that scene is sick when they're dancing. When and Dracula has her, and they're dancing, and she looks in the mirror, and she's the only one in the room.
Oh yeah, I
That-
forgot about
yes.
that. Yeah, yes.
Oh
yeah,
god, we need to
wow.
watch Van Helsing.
We need to watch that again.
we
yeah.
just need to
Yeah,
stop
we-
talking about Van Helsing.
Stop it now.
See ya.
And that's it, folks.
That's it for the podcast for today.
Yeah, man.
That
Yes.
movie's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, Van Helsing's sick.
Yes.
The movie has the best action, and everybody in that movie can get it. Okay, so we've established Van Helsing.
It even
10
has
out of 10.
like if we haven't sold you yet, Hugh Jackman turns into a wolf,
and a werewolf, and then fights
and then
a
fights
giant
of
demon.
He
Dracula.
fights like the final boss version of Dracula.
Yeah, Dracula goes into his final form,
Yeah,
and then he fights.
Yeah.
Dude, it's literally like a video game
it's
final
like
boss.
it's like an anime ending in a good way.
yeah, no,
like,
it's so good.
yeah.
Oh man, Van Helsing is sick. Which is it should be. It's Steven Summer, dude. He was like so good at making fun action movies, like The Mummy and Mummy Returns. Perfect movies, dude.
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser.
I
Top of
need
his
to
game.
rewatch those movies.
The first Mummy.
Both of them. I mean, I've seen them, but I need to rewatch them.
You can skip the Dragon King or Emperor. I forget what the fuck it's called.
The one with the rock.
That's the Mummy Returns. That one's fine.
Are you talking?
I'm talking about the one with Jet Li. And then they replaced Rachel Weisz with Maria Bello.
Yeah, and then
they're like, oh, she does the Yetis. Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. They did that in Uncharted 2 as well. Yeah.
They can have it.
Yeah,
it's okay. It's okay.
Okay, back on to Vampire. I mean, I guess that's still Vampire Meter.
The Mummy?
No, Van Helsing.
Oh, Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yeah. What are you talking about?
But video game wise, I'm trying to think of like a good vampire video game.
Good vampire.
There's Blood Rain, but I don't really remember Blood Rain.
Well, Bloodborne isn't specifically vampires.
I said Blood Rain.
No, I know you did. Wait, what's Blood Rain?
It's the redhead chick with the two swords, and Uwe Boll made like a fucking terrible movie out of it. It was original Xbox.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I forgot about that. I never played that.
What the fuck is that one game? They're remaking it. That game was sick. Kane. Why can't I think of it? Did you ever play those games? Wrath of Kane? Not Wrath of Kane. Oh, fuck.
I'm thinking you're not thinking of the right game. There's another game that has a similar title that's not that.
It's not. Wrath of Kane is not.
Well, what is it though? What is the game?
It's
the original at least.
Oh man, it's this whole. Dude, I haven't played it in forever. I can't.
Oh, I got a good vampire video game though.
Yeah, go for it.
For Infamous 2, the Halloween. Did you ever play that?
No.
Oh God,
but I think
that's one of the best vampire.
I remember what you're talking about.
Oh my God, that actually might be one of the best. It's a DLC. That is all it is.
Mm-hmm.
But so it's not like the entire map or whatever, or I don't really remember exactly. But the point is that like that actually had like the systems in it for when Cole was a vampire was like really well done, and it had like an actual like flying mechanic as well, where you could turn into I forget it wanted like first person mode when you flew and everything, but it was like I can't remember if you turned into like a swarm of bats or like an individual bat or anything or whatever, but there was like a bunch of the gameplay. It was really cool because they treated vampirism like another set of superpowers kind of thing, or like they implied it at least. So it's really cool to see play as Cole with like his electrical powers and also be a vampire.
Like, and vampires.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was really cool.
I mean,
it's worth playing.
Really say that like vampires always bleed. I feel like zombies.
They're always in stuff.
Yeah, vampires always bleed into some sort of like media. I mean, like D&D, you got Curse of Strahd, which is very vampire heavy. If not, I think he's literally listed it like vampire. You got D&D stuff being vampires.
They're really big in RPGs. Yeah, honestly,
they're always in RPGs.
Because even in Skyrim, there's the Dawn Guard and everything.
Yeah,
that whole storyline that happens.
I'm trying to. There's okay, y'all like a motherfucker.
Well, there's that little fun Nosferatu reference in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a little side thing.
SpongeBob.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, Nosferatu. I mean, it worked. I don't know why I'm making that face. Yeah. I just felt there was a tinge of like, okay.
Yeah, let's move on.
Exactly.
That happened.
Yeah. Great episode of SpongeBob.
Yeah, no, that's probably
one of the best
brought
episodes.
It back too. Do you remember?
Yeah,
they brought it back into another episode.
Oh yeah,
recent episode. Yeah. They brought that joke back around.
Mm-hmm.
And I think didn't Robert Eggers thank SpongeBob?
No, he did. Yeah, he was like, he did.
It like reinvigorated people to like go out and see it again.
Well, he also knew of the scene and everything before
Yeah.
I
feel
while
like
they were
everybody,
making it.
I feel like that's like the sole reason
That's probably
why
one of those things
people,
they could have
like,
predicted was going to happen.
like, even if people don't know that it was like an old movie, people know Nosferatu because of SpongeBob. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, nobody, like, they're like, oh, it's a German expressionist film. And he's like, no, it's a character in SpongeBob. And I'm not mad about that, you
No,
know?
I'm not
that's
either.
awesome. But that's,
Yeah.
that's a way to, like, have a character be interesting and live on, you know?
Mm-hmm. This is an actual vampire movie, but I haven't seen this movie, but I always hear about Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah.
The one directed by Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah, it's good.
Of Megalopolis
I
fame.
haven't seen it in a minute.
I've seen scenes from it, and it's like...
It's really well directed. I just remember... I think it's
something
another...
felt off about it at the same time, though.
I remember it's another kind of like Francis Ford Coppola thing where he has like so many different fucking cuts of it that I saw one of them... And I just remember it just felt like a drag to get through. Like, it's really pretty. It's good. I remember people shit on Keanu Reeves' performance. I didn't mind it. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's Keanu Reeves.
I think it was mainly just his British accent.
Yeah.
Was what people couldn't get over.
Like, everything about it is good. I just remember it being slow.
Yeah.
Gary Oldman crushes it.
Oh, yeah. Isn't,
Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder,
is,
she's
Mina
she's
Turner. Yeah.
Well, she's two characters technically. She's Dracula's former wife that died, and then she's
Mina.
It's kind of like it's the same story in Nosferatu. Even though in the movie Nosferatu, it's not like, oh, you're like my old wife or the reincarnation. It's still kind of like, But yeah, I like the design of Gary Oldman's like armor,
pimp ass fucking
like blood
everything
armor.
in that movie.
Yeah,
not only his blood armor,
his
but
little
when he's
circular glasses with the top
pimp
hat
and shit, and he's just
Yeah.
like crushing it constantly. Yeah, dude, that man has style in that movie, like straight style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. He's up there with like best, like just as like the hit for the aesthetic alone, best like movie vampires.
Yeah, no, I would say that's a big thing with that movie is like the
aesthetic of
the
everything.
Design, the like costume
even in
design.
the filmmaking itself, it's everything
the, like,
about
costume design and stuff is like really cool and well done, and like has a lot of that effort put into it. Like I mean, like you said, that blood armor, it has this kind of like hyper realism to it. It's not. I don't know, with the circular sunglasses and shit. It's like nobody probably actually wore.
Well, it's kind of like
shit.
this. It's kind of like the substance in a completely different stylistic way, but where like it makes sense.
Yeah.
Within this like world that they create, it's one of those things where like as you start going throughout the world more, you're like, oh, this is the world they live in.
Yeah.
It's not just being weird.
Yeah.
Like. Yeah.
No, it's exactly that.
Yeah. I just remember there's this really gorgeous shot from that movie that I've seen when I believe it's when Winona Ryder, when she is playing Gary Oldman's wife that dies when she dies, when she like falls off the tower and like actually like falls like a really large distance in the way they did like the fake like horizon landscape and everything. I was like, whoa, that's like great.
I mentioned this with Sinners, but From Dusk Till Dawn is probably one of my favorite fucking vampire movies ever. Just because of that sole reason of, like, it was, one, George Clooney, before he was, like, big George Clooney, playing that role of one of the Gecko brothers. He has a tribal tattoo, and he's a complete douchebag, but, like, good, like, a cool douchebag kind of character. And then Harvey Keitel, fucking Danny Trejo, the story of, Three Cheeches? Fucking amazing movie.
Even Quentin Tarantino as an actor in it.
Salma Hayek's dance.
Oh, yeah.
Changed me,
Yes.
That changes your core temperature as a person,
Preferences were defined that year. When that
really
movie came out.
The standard of, like, what you're into.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. But that whole concept of like it being one movie up until they hit the bar and then they're like, fuck it, it's a vampire movie now. Like that whole concept is so different.
Having the balls to do it
Yeah.
and then do it as well as it
Yeah,
did it.
it's not so
in
much
the style it was going for.
Yeah, it's not so much of a change up of a vampire lore, but so much of like such a different style of movie that that it's advertised as one thing or it's shown as one thing for like half the movie, and then all of a sudden it changes up entirely. Is absolutely, I don't know, and it works, and it works, and it's not too jarring, and it's not too crazy. It's the absolute
It's jarring
right
when
amount.
if you don't know going in it's going to be that.
Yeah.
It is jarring, but it wins you back over like
Yeah.
immediately because the style switch up is so abrupt. But then
Also, I always have to shout out Tom Savini, Comcam and Brethren. Hell yeah.
oh yeah, he is in. He is in that.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, but it's just it just does the movie handles both the styles that it does so well that when the switch up happens, you don't feel like you're in poor hands all of a sudden, like as if the movie like is gonna like go down a notch because like, oh, we're doing a crazy switch up.
Yeah.
Like the filmmaking and everything is like still great, but everything stylistically changes.
And there's still a build up to it's not like
Exactly,
like it's not a hard 180. There's still the build up within the bar as the like mood changes and the kind of theme changes, and Selma Hayek comes out with the dance and it like turns sexy, and then everybody kind of gets this whole different vibe, and then it turns into the bar fight with the vampires, and then you're like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
It's not like a hard switch up.
No, but it's something that shouldn't have worked.
But it did.
But it did.
Yeah.
And it set... You know what it really did? It set a really good example of how... If you're going to genre mash like that, it's not... The example wasn't like, oh, just copy what we did here. The example was, you can do this.
Yeah.
And it can work.
You can make two...
But you have to actually go for it.
Yeah.
You can't half-ass that
Yeah.
in the making of it.
Yeah, but that's also the thing is they went like full Monty for the vampire shit. It goes absolutely nuts with the vampire shit. That's another thing. They went for it. Like with Sinners and like The Substance is like they had the idea and they fully went for it. They're like, this bar is in a fucking Aztec temple fucking with ancient vampires and shit like that. And like they went for the full fucking, they're like, oh, it's crazy. They have all the like the truck like all the shit in the back when they go to like defend themselves, all the shit in the back where they make the stake jackhammer and shit like that. They go for the full fucking crazy stuff with the vampire stuff. They go for it. And they make it fun and crazy.
Yeah, what was that game? Oh wait, this is a zombie game. But similar, that moment you just described, like going in and like the jackhammer thing, reminds me of Dead Rising 2 specifically, where you could go back into the little thing and like make all the custom things and go out, and that was a really fun aspect of that game series, honestly, was making, especially in the second one. 'Cause
that makes me think of how much From Dusk Till Dawn had influences on other stuff like that, because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, a lot of like Dead Rising has like a very From Dusk Till Dawn feel about that sort of customization.
The second one especially,
with the like the
first one,
jackhammer and the holy water squirt gun, and then like all kinds of different shit.
It's basically if you combined From Dusk Till Dawn
and Harvey Keitel has the cross shotgun. He puts the stick in the shotgun grip and he uses it as a cross and a shotgun.
What were the zombie movies? The George Romero zombie movies?
Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, it's like if you combined...
Also, Tom Savini. Tom Savini was the makeup in Night of the Living Dead, and then he was one of the bikers and did the makeup in Dawn of the Dead. Sorry, I just had a full circle.
Didn't Tom Savini do that one movie that we watched a dead meat video... excuse me, a dead meat video about?
Which one? Dead Meat does a lot of horror stuff, and he
The one
and he
that's
does
like the
a
really
lot of horror stuff.
grindhouse one about the guy in New York that
Maniac?
was like a series.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
Maniac.
was in Maniac. He gets his head
he was
exploded
yeah,
in
yeah, he was
Maniac.
in-
Yeah, and he did that.
And they actually-
effect.
yeah,
and
they
they shot
actually
the shotgun. Yeah.
really shot the shotgun at it.
A real
and
shotgun.
got the hell out of there
Yeah,
when the
yeah.
shot was done.
Yeah,
Literally.
because it was like super
they
illegal.
they were just in New York and were just like, fuck it. Get in the car.
Get in the car, we gotta go.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't a real head that exploded. They shot a
No.
fake head with a real
With
gun.
a real correct. Yes. Good clarification.
Yeah.
They
But
were like
that's
murder.
Still, that's still illegal.
yes. Zombie media, speaking of this, should be a whole other episode,
Yes,
frankly.
we'll get into zombie media at a different point in time.
Yes.
When maybe a good zombie thing comes out. 28 years later?
Moving on.
Vampires.
Moving back to the original topic. Yeah, I don't know. Vampires are just in like a lot of shit.
Yeah. But
Good-
like,
good
recently-
shit, like-
dude, we've been like, but seriously, what
But-
you said is like,
Yeah,
there's been
recently?
a lot of good vampire things recently.
Mhm.
We got Nosferatu, we had this Sinners. There was like one other thing that I had thought of beforehand that is completely skipping my mind right now, and it'll definitely come at.
A new movie or show.
Yeah, I think something that's like coming out, like a trailer for something that drops. And I can't think of what it is. There's a lot of good horror movies coming. Like,
Yeah.
horror fans last year and this year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, dude! It's been
It's-
nonstop,
yeah.
dude.
No,
Nonstop.
even like the monkey, not vampires, but the monkey.
Yeah, monkey.
We really
We
it was
enjoyed the fuck out of the monkey.
It wasn't a masterpiece, but it was hilarious.
Was fun.
It was really
hilarious, and it was fun.
Yeah,
and
it
that's
was-
all you really need to enjoy a movie. Not everything has to be fucking
Osgood,
Oscar worthy.
Osgood Perkins has one of the best cameos of last year.
Oh my god!
This
year, Monkey came out this year.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
this year.
Last
Yeah,
year was Long Legs.
That's right. Yes.
Uh huh.
Is he in long legs?
No.
At
Yeah,
all?
maybe.
Like cameo.
I gotta re-fucking watch that movie. I've
haven't-
seen
I
that
haven't
movie like
seen
3
that, but-
times and I don't remember.
I never saw that actually.
Oh, it's
I
good.
heard a lot about it. I just never.
People. I liked
just
it,
wound
and
up
I
not
still like
seeing
it. And people people liked it
people
at first.
keep shitting on it.
No,
yeah.
people liked it at first, and then when it came out, and then it got out on like DVD and shit, and then people were like, "Oh, maybe it's not as good."
Yeah.
It's good, and it stayed good. People just want to jump on that like.
the hate
hate train.
bandwagon or whatever.
Yeah,
the
dude,
fuck.
I fucking hate it when people do shit like that.
Yeah.
It's fucking. It's good. It's still good.
Yeah.
Just because it's not everything you expected, and only because Nicolas Cage is only in it for like 10 minutes, he still gave a good performance.
Yeah. Fucking
Oh, Renfield. I watched that. I didn't watch that in theaters.
the one with Nicholas Holt.
Yeah, and he played
Nick Cage,
Dracula. Yeah, that's
speaking
why
of.
that made me think
Yeah.
of it.
I never saw that either.
Yeah, no, it's actually really fucking good. I didn't watch it because I thought it was gonna be some cheesy ass shit, and I watched it and I was like, this movie is actually really fucking good. I actually enjoyed the shit out of that movie.
I didn't really hear anything about it. It just kind of came out.
Yeah, no, exactly. Me too. I thought I heard like middle ground stuff. Like people were like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed that movie. I thought that was really good. And that came out either last year
that
or
was
2 years.
I think it was last year.
maybe
like
like 2 years ago.
Yeah. It was. Yeah.
Could have been.
We're nearing the end here, folks, but I'm just going to briefly talk about this because I watched this movie. It's not vampire related. It's Nicholas Holt related, though. It's that movie, The Order. The movie with Jude Law, yeah, about the FBI stuff, talking about the KKK and all that. It was a 6.
I like how you said that. I like you said that to me the other day. You're like, I watched The Order, and I was like, yeah, how was it? You're like, it was okay.
Yeah.
Like you said it with all the hype that it was gonna be like a better movie,
Yeah.
and you're like, it was all right.
Yeah. It's worth watching once.
Yeah.
And then you can forget about it. There's good things in it. I like certain things about it. It just ends, though, in like a not satisfying way. Like there was maybe somewhere between like 5 to 15 minutes of movie that would have helped wrap things up at the end, or maybe adding some other shit elsewhere in the movie in retrospect that would have made it like a 7 or an 8. But the best part about the movie, I think, is Nicholas Holt's performance as the KKK guy.
Yeah.
Very believable.
He's always good as like weirdos, like
Yeah.
in the Menu. I
But the
really
thing
liked
is,
him
but
in the
he's
Menu.
not playing a. Well, he is, but he's not really playing a weirdo, though. That's the thing. He's playing a normal guy that's wrapped up in this ideology, and that about it is really interesting because it causes him to be a weirdo, and to make bad decisions, and that's kind of like the movie is about. It's about. It's like it's not just with. It's emphasized greatly with his character, because you kind of like. I'll make this clear. He's an asshole for many reasons in the movie, and because he's based on a real life guy. This is whole like a true story thing. That being said, like the movie does a good job of like making you feel conflicted about feeling bad for these people joining this group that are a bunch of racist assholes. Yeah, but they give them. It's nothing crazy. Like in regards to like, it's not like the most in-depth backstory of like these people and stuff like that.
I don't feel bad for any KKK members. I'll say it, but
it's not that you just. It's not. So I don't either. I feel bad. It puts into perspective a little bit like why they think the way they do, even though what they believe and why they believe it is up.
Yeah, I get you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's that I like about it. And Nicholas Hoult gives a really good performance. And what's his face from Ready Player One? The guy that plays the main guy.
Oh, Ty
that played,
Sheridan?
Yeah, he's
something?
in it. He's in it too. He plays.
I like him. He's good.
He's good in it. His character. It makes sense because this was happened in real life, but that's part of why the movie becomes a little unsatisfying, unfortunately. And that's kind of in a way the point of the movie, the way it ends, but from like a filmmaking perspective, I feel like they could have done a better way of like ending it.
Yeah.
But it's a 6. That's all I really have to say about it.
So the movie just end.